What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about it. And I'm doing this video because I want to share my materials that I had submitted in the Divisional Court for a tribunal appeal. Originally filed in Toronto, then transferred to Hamilton, then transferred up to the Kitchener-Waterloo Courthouse from Justice Chiard because John David Ekping-Young lied to that judge and told him that the proceeding happened in Kitchener when it never did. This judge just wanted it to go, this lawyer wanted it to go up into the Kitchener-Waterloo Courthouse because that's where my ex lived. And she dealt with a high-profile divorce in that courtroom for many years. And then about less than 2 years, she dragged me into this court, family court, where I was unlawfully dragged into and took constant beatings behind closed doors from court staff and from judges, accepting affidavits, applications, unsigned, uncommissioned. Motions were never confirmed by a lawyer. Sometimes they wouldn't even show up. The list goes on. But I want to focus on in this video, if you are thinking about filing an appeal with the Divisional Court, don't even waste your time or money, to be honest. They make it nearly impossible as a self-represented litigant to file the materials. They are very strict and specific what they want. Somehow, I was able to complete these documents and accepted by the court. They give you a strict 60 days when you file an appeal. They give you a strict 60 days to file a response. Tell me this. Tell me how John David Ekping-Young was given 18 months to file his materials. Because it's a handicap match. It's obvious this courthouse doesn't like me. You look at my previous videos and you see how they've treated me. It's a clear pattern of abuse. And, it's in the public's best interest to know what's happening with these court proceedings because I'm just giving you fair warning of what you could be up against. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my Divisional Court appeal materials, which is Notice of Appeal application, Order of Decision from the Tribunal, a Factum, Transcripts, Exhibits, Compendium, and an Affidavit of Service. How is it that a self-represented litigant is able to complete all these things and you got a lawyer in the Law Society who apparently studied and, went the proper routes obtaining that license? Tell me how you got a lawyer who can't even fill out these forms in a timely manner. And why did this courthouse give this lawyer 18 months to file their materials? Justice Gibson told this lawyer specifically, you must file your materials before December 31st, 2024. What does this lawyer do? That was November 30th, I believe, or October 30th. What does this lawyer do? Files them on New Year's Eve at 8:01 while I'm out with friends and family. What does this court staff do? They accept and file his materials on January the 8th. And that whole civils department, you know how many materials they accepted, unsigned, uncommissioned applications left at my door? Canada is facing some serious judicial abuse and misconducts. This Canadian Judicial Council, to me, my experience has been absolutely useless. When you got judges blocking out transcripts, deleting endorsements, blatantly lying on endorsements and providing contradictory statements that cannot be backed up by any of the evidence or facts submitted, and the Canadian Judicial Council doesn't want to accept a complaint, and they're the only body to do anything about it. This country, this province is riddled with corruption. And all this court did was take out a hard-working blue-collar electrician. All I want to do is work and help out these charities. And I just had to pull out of 7 monthly charities that I've been donating to, some of them almost 3 years. Women's shelter, animal shelter, just the list goes on, and they robbed me. This lawyer robbed me, and these judges allowed this lawyer to rob me. Our system is, judges are supposed to be making decisions off of evidence and facts, and that was not even done in my case. And this is why I'm sharing my materials. So you guys can see for yourself what these courts allowed and what these courts ignored. And what they allowed was abuse, and what they ignored was the truth. So without further ado, I am doing a video on sharing my divisional court material, my divisional court appeal materials, and it was a waste of time. It was an absolute waste of time. This lawyer was told by Justice Standrick in February 2024 to file his materials no later than March the 1st. This lawyer never filed his materials until New Year's Eve. 9 months later. So check out the video. Please let me know what you guys think. If you haven't already, subscribe, share these videos, comment. If there's anyone else out there who has been a self-represented litigant in a divisional court appeal proceeding, please comment in this video and let me know what you think of my materials and let me hear about your experience. You know, it's just wild what's happening behind these closed doors. You know, my story is another perfect example why all courtrooms should have cameras and why court staff should stop rejecting public documents like audio recordings unless they've got something to hide. Because I can tell you right now, this Kitchener-Waterloo Courthouse, Carrie Rice, she's refusing these audio recordings because I was labeled a vexatious litigant. Right? You know, labeled a vexatious litigant only prevents you really from starting new cases. If I want these audio recordings from my personal records so I can comb through them and get transcripts, I should be allowed. Okay? All of this, you know, I wouldn't even be starting this YouTube channel if I wasn't unlawfully dragged through family court on a restraining order application never signed with an ex-girlfriend, almost 25 years older than me, never married with, never lived with, never had children with. No domestic violence, no police history. That whole family court thing was to protect $1 million split. And that's all they did. And I got dragged with on a restraining order application never signed with a woman who lives 80 kilometers away from me. And I got this psychotic, unhinged lawyer who won't leave me alone. And it's a joke. Our judicial system is a disgrace. It is. When you're allowing lawyers to get these wins like that, you know, it's a disgrace. There's nothing fair or impartial with all the proceedings I dealt with this Kitchener-Waterloo Courthouse. It's already been said. There's been notes left about me. And that's what judges do. They leave notes for the next judge. So most judges already have a decision made up, mainly based off the previous judge's notes. Okay? How is that going to be a fair proceeding? Yeah, I'll leave it like that. I'll leave it right there. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know what you think in the comments about my materials.